What is good, family? It is your boy PvbloGrey, and we are back with another reaction video. And with this news clip here, it is titled "Trump Says He is Halting Payments to the World Health Organization." Y'all already know how I feel about them crooked ass people. I hope they all get indicted. I hope they all get punished to the highest extent of the law, and you know, pay for their war crimes. But shit. For this, you see what I'm rocking today. Make America smoke again. Pablo for president. But let's get into it.
Today, I'm instructing my administration to halt funding of the World Health Organization while a review is conducted to assess the World Health Organization's role in severely mismanaging and covering up the spread of the coronavirus.
That's right.
Everybody knows what's going on there. American taxpayers.
All right, so let me pause it there, man. As you heard him, he said everybody knows what's going on there. And if you don't, let me inform you. These motherfuckers has been working with China in order to make people get vaccinated. And the reason why they want everyone to get vaccinated is, one, is for control. And secondly, because in order to get those vaccinations are manufactured in China. So China controls our health and well-being, so-called. And that's what's really been going on behind the scenes. These people have been selling out the United States for a bag.
Taxpayers provide between $400 million and $500 million per year to the WHO. In contrast, China contributes roughly $40 million a year, and even less. As the organization's leading sponsor, the United States has a duty to insist on full accountability. One of the most dangerous.
China only giving 10% of what America giving. That's a lot of money.
And costly decisions from the WHO was its disastrous decision to oppose travel restrictions from China and other nations. They were very much opposed to what we did. Fortunately, I was not convinced and suspended travel from China.
Let me pause it right there for y'all dumbass people who don't know what y'all talking about, because I see it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All these people who really be against Trump for no reason at all. No real factual reasons, just opinionated base. But I've been seeing how y'all think like all of this shit could have been prevented if Trump acted earlier, and Trump been ignoring it and all of this shit. Little do you know, he was the one who pushed for the travel ban when they were recommending not to. They weren't saying shit. Trump did it. Y'all know what the fuck y'all be talking about, man. Do your research. It's easy, man. It's as easy as tapping on them keyboards, tapping on them phones that you already be tapping on to write a tweet, to post to write a caption for your Instagram post, to write a status for Facebook. It's as easy as that. Let's keep it going.
Saving untold numbers of lives. Thousands and thousands of people would have died. Had other nations likewise suspended travel from China, countless more lives would have been saved. Instead, look at the rest of the world, look at parts of Europe, other nations and regions who followed WHO guidelines and kept their borders open to China.
So if you didn't know, the World Health Organization gives us our recommendations and just about everyone else around the world. So they're like the authority when it comes to infectious diseases and how people should carry out being healthy and healthy practices through life. They're the ones who are over that shit.
Accelerated the pandemic all around the world. Many countries said, we're going to listen to the WHO, and they have problems the likes of which they cannot believe. Nobody can believe. The decision of other major countries to keep travel open was one of the great tragedies and missed opportunities from the early days. The WHO's attack on travel restrictions put political correctness above life-saving measures.
And if you don't know what the fuck he talking about right there, I know y'all remember when they stopped President Trump while he was talking, and they told this man to stop calling it the Chinese virus, stop calling it the Wuhan virus, because it was impolitically correct. Oh my bad, politically incorrect. Sorry, but he he definitely he pushed forward to for the word of the phrase Chinese virus or Wuhan virus to be it, because that's where it originated from. If you remember the video, he said the reason I'm saying it is because that's where it came from. That's where it was created. That's where the infection started. So they were more worried about telling this man to say it, to just call it a coronavirus and not the Chinese virus. The reason why he did it because he knew exactly where the fuck it came from and the reason why it was even created. Excuse me. Trump knew about the shit. You can tell he knows. You can tell by his tweets. You can tell the nigga knows. I'm pretty sure he got people around him to make sure he know. But back to it.
Travel bans work for the same reason that quarantines work. Pandemics depend on human-to-human transmission. Border control is fundamental to virus control.
Right?
Since its establishment in 1948, the American people have generously supported the World Health Organization to provide better health outcomes for the world and, most importantly, to help prevent global health crises. With the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have deep concerns whether America's generosity has been put to the best use possible. The reality is that the WHO failed to adequately obtain, vet, and share information in a timely and transparent fashion. The world depends on the WHO to work with countries to ensure that accurate information about international health threats is shared in a timely manner. And if it's not, to independently tell the world the truth about what is happening.
So basically, what this man just said, they've been withholding information and have been doing so for quite a while, and they need to be held responsible because them holding out that information it cost people lives, thousands, if not millions. Someone needs to be held accountable, and it's those who withheld information that could have saved lives, such as the World Health Organization. One of those information being where it originated and who started it. Back to it.
The WHO failed in this basic duty and must be held accountable. It's time, after all of these decades. The WHO failed to investigate credible reports from sources in Wuhan that conflicted directly with the Chinese government's official accounts. There was credible information to suspect human-to-human transmission in December 2019, which should have spurred the WHO to investigate and investigate immediately. Through the middle of January, it parroted and publicly endorsed the idea that there was not human-to-human transmission happening, despite reports and clear evidence to the contrary. The delays the WHO experienced in declaring a public health emergency cost valuable time, tremendous amounts of time.
Don't forget
More
about
time
that
was
money.
lost in the delay it took to get a team of international experts in to examine the outbreak, which we wanted to do, which they should have done. The inability of the WHO to obtain virus samples to this date has deprived the scientific community of essential data.
And you know what's so fucking crazy? He just said that they denied him of getting viable samples. It's fucking crazy because they helped create the shit. They helped create the shit. So for them to not have any samples, it's kind of baffling. So I wouldn't be surprised if within this investigation that they find out that not only did they create the virus, but because they created the virus, that means that they withheld the virus, the sample, from the hands of people who needed it. in order to create the proper vaccinations or the proper treatments needed to fight off the virus. That's some risky business. Y'all some sick motherfuckers. Let's go.
New data that emerges across the world on a daily basis points to the unreliability of the initial reports, and the world received all sorts of false information about transmission and mortality.
All right.
The silence of the WHO
Been fudging them fucking numbers. Faking the fucking numbers.
on the disappearance of scientific researchers and doctors, and on new restrictions on the sharing of research into the origins of COVID-19 in the country of origin.
I might have heard the man wrong, but it sounded like he said doctors was disappearing. Doctors that was needed or new information they missing. I'm trying to make no shit up. Let's wind it back.
Received all sorts of false information about transmission and mortality. The silence of the WHO on the disappearance of scientific researchers and doctors, and on new restrictions on the sharing of research into the origins of COVID-19 in the country of origin, is deeply concerning, especially when we put up by far the largest amount of money.
That's right.
Not even close. Had the WHO done its job to get medical experts into China to objectively assess the situation on the ground and to call out China's lack of transparency, the outbreak could have been contained at its source with very little death.
You heard what he just said. China's lack of transparency. Y'all are fucking foolish to believe that China even whatever they allowed you to see was what was really going on. You are fucking fooled. They not keeping it real with you. Why would they? What reason would they have to when we currently having a silent war when it comes to AI, artificial intelligence, a silent war when it comes to trade and exports? I don't think y'all understanding. There's no reason why China would do so, and that's the reason why he's calling them out about not being so transparent.
Very little death, and certainly very little death by comparison. This would have saved thousands of lives and avoided worldwide economic damage. Instead, the WHO willingly took China's assurances to face value, and they took it just at face value. And
you fucking idiots. Let me just break this down to you. China, a communist country who obviously censors everything. They obviously believe in population control. Don't forget about that rule where they were only allowing them to have so many kids. China believes in population control. And for you to take anything at face value, you have to be an idiot, especially to take something face value from someone who is considered an enemy or someone who is considered a competitor as far as leading the world in arms and technological advances and industry. Taking anything for face value would be fucking foolish. There's organizations that investigate things like this, and for those organizations to not be used, especially when something like this happens, is irresponsible, and somebody needs to be held accountable for it. I don't think y'all understand this shit. Biological warfare just happened. Somebody just tried to wipe out half the world, if not the majority of it, and I don't think y'all get that. They were coming for you, me, the people around you, the ones that you love. They was coming for you, for all of y'all, all of us, and y'all not getting that.
Defended the actions of the Chinese government, even praising China for its so-called transparency? I don't think so. The
Me either.
WHO pushed China's misinformation about the virus, saying it was not communicable and there was no need for travel bans. They told us when we put on our travel ban, a very strong travel ban, there was no need to do it, don't do it. They actually fought us. The WHO's reliance on China's disclosures likely caused a 20-fold increase in cases worldwide, and it may be much more than that. The WHO has not addressed a single one of these concerns, nor provided a serious explanation that acknowledges its own mistakes, of which there were many. America and the world have chosen to rely on the WHO for accurate, timely, and independent information to make important public health recommendations and decisions.
All right.
If we cannot trust that, this is what we will receive from the WHO. Our country will be forced to find other ways to work with other nations to achieve public health goals. We'll have no choice but to do that. Our countries.
And I honestly believe he should, because as you can see, the World Health Organization right now is corrupt. And they not fixing themselves. There's nothing governing them. We need to figure something else out. Fuck these people. The people, any of the people on that board that is associated with the United States needs to be prosecuted. Facts. And then we figure the rest out. But they gotta go. All them niggas, they gotta go.
Are now experiencing, you look all over the world, tremendous death and economic devastation because those tasked with protecting us by being truthful and transparent failed to do so. It would have been so easy to be truthful. And so much death has been caused by their mistakes.
Well, that's the end of the video. Closing statements I got on that. I'm glad President Trump is deciding to do so. Stopping funding and deciding to investigate the people of the World Health Organization, because it needs to be done. People need to be held accountable for their wrongs. Because if we did so, if this was trusted, if these things were trusted in our ability, and it's our job to do so, and we failed to do our job, you get fired. But when your job is saving lives, there's laws for that. Laws that lead to prosecution. And that's what needs to happen here. I don't think y'all really understand, man. This organization that the United States has funded, it is the number one funder of this organization, has not only failed to do what's right by the United States, but has worked against them, worked against us, and risking the lives of millions of people. Someone has to pay for that. But yeah, man, smash that like button, subscribe. If you like what I'm doing here, you like the reaction videos and the informative content I'm giving you, subscribe and share. That's all I'm asking. But yeah, have a good one, man. Until next time.